Skip, go ahead. Go ahead and say it, Skip. I want to hear you say it. Somebody said that. Who said that, Skip?
You said that.
Okay.
And you were wrong. Wait a second. You were wrong the first time. You're about to be wrong a second time.
Because here's the thing, Skip. There's only so many practice hours. There's so many meeting hours you get. You cannot prepare for two quarterbacks. There's only so many hours in the day. And so that's what happens. You prepare for the starter, and normally what we've seen happen is that the starter goes out and the backup normally plays really well, especially if he's decent, Skip. I'm not saying sometimes you get guys that he has no business being in the game and you hope you never have to play him. But sometimes your quarterback gets nicked and the backup has to go in. And so that's what happened. This is why I want to just hold back from saying, okay, Baker's the end-all, be-all. He's the new savior salvation for the Cleveland Browns. Let's see how he progresses when team has a game plan, put a game plan specifically for him, what he likes to do. Because, Skip, the ball comes out of his hands a lot quicker than it does Tyrod. Plus, he's willing to try and fit the ball in. That Tyrod, he made some throws that I'm not sure Tyrod would have even attempted.
That's true.
And so he probably caught them off guard and looking at a situation like that. But before I turn it over to you, Skip, I'm gonna tell you a true story. One of my
I hope it's true. I hope every story you tell is true.
It is.
Or do you kind of embellish?
No, I don't embellish. But you know what, Skip? Before I tell you my story, you know what? A lot of people have told you, say, Skip, that old Shannon Sharpe, he really talks a lot. But nobody says that Shannon Sharpe don't know what the hell he's talking about. Again, two things can be true. I do talk a lot. Yeah. But old Shannon Sharpe know what he's talking about.
You talk 3 times to my one.
No, I don't. But anyway.
And I win every time.
No, you don't. My position coach, Skip, there was a starting linebacker. But his backup was better than he was. Okay. My position coach told me, he said, Shannon, whatever you do, make sure he doesn't get hurt because you don't want to see his backup. So if he's around the pile, you make sure you pull him to safety.
Okay.
In a situation like this, they probably would have been better if they had left Tyrod in the game. They probably would have had a better chance of winning the game. That's why I'm telling the story. Yeah. Because you let this guy come in the game who was at this point better than Tyrod, and you see what happened.
So you're admitting Baker Mayfield way better than Tyrod. But you said from the start, Tyrod should play.
No, here's the thing, Skip. All Tyrod Taylor's talent could do was hold Baker off 2.5 games.
Okay.
That was it.
Did anybody really believe that Baker Mayfield was going to play in this Thursday night game?
No.
I did not.
No.
Would he have played one snap if not for the concussion of Tyrod Taylor?
Maybe in the second half because Tyrod was thinking it up.
I don't believe the way Hugh Jackson had dug in on Tyrod, wouldn't even allow competition. Finally awarded Baker Mayfield the backup quarterback.
Well, he was competing with Drew Stanton.
Okay, he was competing with Drew, and boy, it was really an achievement. He won second string in training camp. That's really good. Way to go. Thank you for that, Hugh, on Hard Knocks. So, as much as I love Jamal Adams as a fine young player, he's really a fine player. He was way out of bounds on this.
Why?
And so are you. So, let me ask you.
Yes.
Did Baker Mayfield run different plays than Tyrod ran? I think they're exactly the same plays. Yeah. Is Baker Mayfield some classic pocket passer without mobility?
Right.
No. Can Baker and Tyrod both move around a little bit? Yeah, they can move around.
It's kind of like when backs come in the game. One guy's a power guy, one guy's a speed guy, and one guy you catch, you're like, oh man, the dude, he got to the edge. I didn't anticipate him. And that's the thing. Like I said, I believe Baker would try throws that Tyrod wouldn't attempt, and the ball gets out of his hands a lot quicker than Tyrod. So you underestimate those things.
Okay, but I will bet you he ran exactly the same plays. I will bet you that the coordinator, who tried to be the star of Hard Knocks, I'll bet you he was just calling exactly the same plays for Baker that he was calling for Tyrod. I don't think any game plan changed. There was nothing.
For the Jets?
No, for the Browns.
Oh.
You know, like
You're talking about Greg,
Yeah.
But they took the ball away in the second half. Well, Sam Darnold helped them.
Okay, that was predictable to me, but that had to be part of the equation because he is running, Baker Mayfield, the very same plays with more energy and urgency and electricity and velocity, right? They're just the same plays. But all of a sudden, the whole stadium has come up out of their seats because it's different because the charisma level goes way up off the charts when Baker steps on the football field.
But you also know, Skip, the offensive line blocked better.
Okay, that's the rub-off effect. It's contagious. He is contagious.
Tyrod was like, I wish y'all had rubbed off on me and blocked somebody.
Okay, Tyrod's a fine quarterback, and he's a fine guy, but he's low-key and he's quiet, and he doesn't have a lot of charismatic body language to him.
Okay.
He will execute, and he'll play pretty well, and he will keep you in most games and win you some games.
Right.
And he got the Buffalo Bills to the playoffs last year, and I give him that. But you know what happened when Baker touched turf with his toe the other night? It just lifted off, right? Everything changed. So Baker Mayfield the other night goes 17 of 23 for 201. He has a QBR of 95.
His first start?
Yeah.
200 yards?
Yeah.
Jenny.
And a half.
What I got to do?
Somebody's got to change the subject because he's getting run.
No,
over.
your guy.
Okay, so 95 QBR was the best of the weekend last week in the whole NFL. Meanwhile, Tyrod had gone 4 of 14 for 19 yards with a QBR of 6, which was the worst. So you had the best QBR following the worst QBR. And it couldn't be any more stark than that. That's Baker Mayfield versus Tyrod.
When was the last time your guy had a 95 QBR?
My guy?
Yeah.
Talking about Dak Prescott?
I'm just saying your guy.
Baker's my guy, too. I got a lot of guys. I got Tom Brady.
Your other guy.
Yeah.
The one that had...
Somebody's trying to change the subject.
The one that had Osweiler numbers, like the last 13
one who had the 3rd best QBR for the whole season as a rookie and the 4th best last year. That's pretty great.
You just told me I need to update my resume.
The guy who's had a better total QBR than Carson Wentz even dreamed of having for his 2 years.
Carson Wentz came back in.
So back to what's happening here. The problem for Jamal Adams is you cannot simulate, you cannot approximate in practice that energy and that electricity that Baker brings to the field running the same plays. So what happened to my Oklahoma Sooners? You brought it up yesterday. Baker Mayfield went to Norman, Oklahoma and stood on the sidelines and watched a 31-point underdog from Army, the Black Knights of Army. And what did they do to my Oklahoma Sooners as Baker watched pretty horrified on the sideline? You couldn't simulate in practice what they were doing with the triple option.
Right.
They took Oklahoma's 1960s and 70s triple option, and they ran it right down Oklahoma's throats because you can't practice against it. You can try. You can get your scout team to try to run these plays. Then they start running, and it is precision. It is surgical. And they end up running. The Army Black Knights ran 84 plays to my team's 40. Have you ever heard that before? 84 to 40? And you know what they did? They on combined 3rd and 4th down, the Black Knights went 17 of 26 on 3rd and 4th down because they don't even punt. When if it's 4th and 2, they just say, "We got this," because we'll run another. And you're like, "What? Where did the ball go? Where did the ball go?"
And that's my point.
Okay, that's what Baker Mayfield is. It's hard to prepare for the energy of it, the electricity that he's going to bring, because the plays are just going to be the same. They're not going to change their offense. He's really the same guy as Tyrod is. No, they're both about the same size.
But the ball is coming out a lot quicker.
I'd say.
And as you mentioned, when the scout team runs it, that's not their offense.
No.
So they don't run it with the speed and the precision in which you're going to see it in the game. And because you'll see that offense once. Unless you play in that conference where there's Army, Navy, Air Force, and then you're going to see it 3 times because they all run the same.
They all run it because it's the only way they can compete is to run the triple option because they don't have the athletes you have.
They're undersized in the offensive line.
If you went athlete for athlete, OU versus Army, it's a joke. They're 31-point favorites, and it took overtime.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one. That they're going to want to move on.
But they just survived.
And then Army cleaned the locker room. I was like,
know,
Coach, I ain't cleaning. No,
shot.
I ain't cleaning no locker room.
That was a good shot.
They cleaned the locker room. Yeah,
left
thick
it
as faint.
spotless.
Really?
You know, it's the Army way. I thought it was.
Respect those guys.
I'm leaving jocks, shoes. As a matter of fact, I'm bringing a shovel of dirt and dump it in the flying cleaning.
Really?
Okay, that you definitely should do. How about this, though? One NFL player actually said Blake Bortles is the next Tom Brady. We'll discuss that next.
My goodness.